ज्ञान की बातों में खोया जय साहू में खोटाया खरा निर्दोष शरण में आ तो गया जय साहू में खोटाया खरा निर्दोष शरण में आ तो गया हाँ तो गया एक बार कह दे खाली जा या प्रीत की रीत झलकने दे गर्व भरा मस्तक मेरा प्रभु चरण धूल तक झुकने दे अहंकार विकार भरे मन को निज नाम की माला जपने दे गर्व भरा मस्तक मेरा
Namaskar, my dear brothers and sisters, boys and girls. The love and blessings of the Mother and Sri Aurobindo to all of you from Sri Aurobindo Ashram, Delhi branch. You just heard a beautiful devotional song in the melodious voice of Soumya Narayanan, a former student of the Mothers International School, who besides being a singer is also an accomplished Bharatnatyam dancer. The song that she was singing was a submission, a prayer by the devotee who has acknowledged that my head is full of pride and arrogance. Let this arrogant head bow down to your feet. That's the submission that the devotee is making to the divine. Make me touch your feet and overcome my arrogance by realizing my weaknesses. That is where the devotee finds his salvation, taking refuge in you. Today's session is on the practice of meditation. Yesterday we talked about the theory. Today we shall try to practice it, and if you like, as in the physical practices, you may join. Settle down in a room that is neither too cold nor too hot and has subdued lighting, not as brightly lit as the room in which I am sitting. But then my Swadharma today requires that I stay in a brightly lit room while guiding the meditation. So the room should be have subdued lighting. It should be neither too cold nor too hot. The seat on which you sit should be neither soft nor hard, just firm. And the posture should be one in which you are steady and comfortable. If it is a sitting posture, then it could be either Padmasana, the lotus pose, or the ordinary cross-legged pose, Sukhasana, or Vajrasana, the namaz pose. And the hands should be either in Chin Mudra, resting on the knees, or in the lap with one hand cupping the other, or with the fingers interlocked. Without going into any esoteric reasons why the hand should be in this position, the thumb touching the index finger while it is resting on the knees, you would realize that if you stretch out your fingers, the hand is tense. If you try to close the fist, again it is tense. If you try to do nothing with the hands, leave it totally relaxed, then you find that automatically it comes in a position something like this, and the thumb, if not actually touching the index finger, is at least very close to the index finger. So might as well touch the index finger, and then your hand is totally relaxed. So don't try to keep it in this position. It's when you try to do nothing with the hand, don't try to keep it in any position, that your hand automatically assumes a position somewhat like this. And when you rest it on the knees, the relaxation should be complete from shoulder down, so that you are not trying to support your hands in any way. The hands are now resting on a firm ground, if you may call it, be it the knees or be it the lap. As I was saying yesterday, this looks better in a photograph, but personally I find this even more comfortable than placing the hands on the knees, just one hand cupping the other. So if you have settled down in this position, then make sure that your back and neck are erect but not tense, and that is possible. And don't try to support any part of the body. And if you do not have any basic objection to closing the eyes, you may close the eyes and meditate in the eyes closed position. So you may close the eyes. To ensure complete relaxation, you could do something as we do in Shavasana, that relax each part of the body one by one. Take your awareness to the feet. Relax your feet. Relax the legs. Relax the back. Relax the chest and the abdomen. Relax your hands and arms. Relax the shoulders so that the hands and the arms are totally unsupported, with the hands resting either on your knees or in your lap. Relax the neck. The neck and the back are both relaxed but erect. Relax your jaws. Let the lower jaw drop. Relax the face. Bring a sweet smile to the face. Relax the eyes. Let the eyes remain shut, but not tightly so. Gently closed, the eyes gently closed. No creases on the forehead, please. Relax your head. Now your whole body is totally relaxed and the mind completely at peace. If there's anything bothering you, just resolve that everything can wait. Nothing is important right now. If you feel like moving a little bit, you may do so now, but after that, avoid any bodily movements so that you are in your most comfortable position and your attention is not drawn by the body throughout the meditation. So be in your most comfortable position, and then after that, avoid all movement. Absence of any restlessness, total immobility of the body will facilitate immobility of the mind as well. Slow breathing. Rather extremely slow breathing, just about 1/4 your normal rate of breathing. Bring it down to about 5 times a minute. Slow but gentle breathing. Don't try to regulate the depth. Just slow down the rate and the depth will take care of itself. It will be rather shallow breathing because we do not need much oxygen while meditating. Slow and gentle breathing. As you breathe in, the abdomen moves out. As you breathe out, the abdomen moves in. Make just a little gentle effort while breathing in. Let the breathing out be completely passive. While breathing out, let the air flow out gently, smoothly, and at a steady pace on its own. That will automatically make breathing out longer than breathing in. Spending more time on breathing out than on breathing in facilitates relaxation. Feel the flow of air you breathe. Pay attention to the cool air going in through the nostrils. And as you breathe out, feel the warm air in your mouth. Slow, gentle, and conscious breathing. If you're hearing any sounds, pay no attention to them. Don't try to make out what their significance is, what these sounds mean. Just ignore them and these sounds will fade away. In the same way, if you get any thoughts, ignore them. Don't pay any attention to them and let these thoughts fade away. Thoughts come to you dressed up in words. Using those words while thinking is like talking to you, talking to yourself. Say to yourself, why am I talking to myself? It serves no purpose. And as you stop speaking to yourself, the thoughts get rejected. Whether you ignored a thought that had been going on for quite some time, or rejected a thought right at its inception, the ignored or the rejected thought should not find any place in your mind. It should be difficult even to recollect what you rejected or ignored. By showing a total lack of interest in the thoughts that arise in your mind, you can make them fade away very effectively, and you will not be able to recollect what it was that you ignored. Now your mind is totally free of all preoccupations. You are in a state of a vigilant blank, alert to the voice of the depths of your being. Now you may start chanting silently your favorite mantra or a name, the name of a guru or a god or a goddess or an incarnation. Whatever your favorite sound is that signifies the sacred, the divine to you, you may chant it silently. If it is just one word, you may chant it every time you breathe out. If it is longer, you may break it into two parts. Chant the first part while breathing in and the second part while breathing out. Slow breathing and slow chanting. The chanting synchronized with breathing. As you breathe in, visualize a wave rising up your spine, from the base of your spine going right up to the top, right up to your head. And as it reaches the head, it spreads out into a funnel like structure. And as you breathe out, feel a wave going down through that funnel right up to the base of your spine. Feel a wave rising up your spine as you breathe in, and the wave going down the funnel as you breathe out. As you breathe out, feel going down the spine the love and light of the divine. That is what is going down the spine and not remaining confined to the spine but spreading out throughout your body. Feel a soothing resonance of the love and light of the divine entering your body every time you breathe out, entering your head as if through a funnel, going down the spine and radiating out, going to every nook and corner of your body. The love and light of the divine radiating throughout your body, reaching every nook and corner of your body, doesn't remain confined to your body. Visualize it radiating out of your body and traveling further and further and further. As the love spreads out of your body and travels further and further, you feel as if you're a tiny speck floating in an ocean of love. Feel the bliss of yourself getting reduced to a tiny speck and eventually merging with the vast ocean of divine love by which you are enveloped. The vast ocean of divine love around you is reaching everywhere, reaching all creation. Now start directing this love specifically to all plants and animals. Send your love to all human beings. Send your love to all those who are suffering due to natural disasters such as floods, cyclones, and earthquakes. Send your love to all those who are suffering due to man made disasters such as war and terrorism. Send your love to all those who are responsible for these man made disasters. Send your love to all those whom you have hurt intentionally or unintentionally and apologize to them. Send your love to all those who have ever hurt you and forgive them. Think of the one person who has hurt you the most by what he or she said or did and visualize that person in front of you right now. Forgive this person unconditionally. Tell this person, I love you, and offer him or her a flower. The person is astonished by your behavior. And your love is so contagious, so sincere, that this person reciprocates with love. Visualize yourself and this person surrounded by this vast ocean of divine love. while retaining this ecstatic feeling of being surrounded by this vast ocean of divine love, return to your chanting of your favorite mantra, synchronizing it with breathing. Slow and very gentle breathing. Now we'll chant a mantra that is about the universal presence of the divine. Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamyevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Please move your fingers and toes a little. Rub your palms. Place the cupped palms in front of your eyes without actually touching the eyes. Enjoy the eyes relaxing in warmth and total darkness. Bring the hands down slowly along the body. Return to the meditative posture. Open your eyes with a few blinks. Say an affectionate namaskar to the persons near you, really or virtually. नमस्ते, सदा रहो हंसते, चलो योग के रास्ते. Namaste, keep smiling, stay on the path of yoga. Thank you. Seems there are no questions. All still in that ecstatic mood of meditating. We can continue along the same lines by reading out a few passages which are very suitable for meditation. This is a passage from Sri Aurobindo, from Savitri, Book 1, Canto 4. The master of The master of existence lurks in us and plays at hide and seek with his own force. In nature's instrument loiters secret God. The immanent lives in man as in his house. He has made the universe his pastimes field, a vast gymnasium of his works of might. All knowing, he accepts our darkened state. Divine, wears shapes of animal or man. Eternal, he ascends to fate and time. Immortal, dallies with mortality. Let's go over it slowly. The master of existence lurks in us and plays at hide and seek with his own force. The master of existence, the divine, lurks in us, plays around in us without making it very obvious, and thus ends up playing hide and seek with his own force. Because he is the one that is playing, he is the one that is lurking, and he is the one in those in whom he is lurking. So, with his own force, he plays at hide and seek. He hides, we are not aware of the divine. We, being manifestations of the divine, are not in a way aware of ourselves. The divine is itself hiding from itself. And then there comes that urge to seek the divine, and it starts seeking it. So the divine hides from itself, and then the divine seeks itself in those in whom he has hidden. So the master of existence lurks in us and plays at hide and seek with his own force. In nature's instrument loiters secret God. So we are all instruments of the divine, and in these instruments loiters secret God, roams around. God, unseen and unknown, but not unknowable. The master existence lurks in us and plays at hide and seek with his own force. In nature's instrument loiters secret God. The immanent lives in man as in his house. He has made the universe his pastimes field, a vast gymnasium of his works of might. The divine has a universal presence. Is present in each individual, and of course beyond all creation too, the transcendent. But here the focus is on the immanent, the one that has a universal presence in the creation. The immanent lives in man as in his house, stays there comfortably, housed in this material cage that he has adopted as his house. The immanent lives in man as in his house. He has made the universe his pastimes field. The entire universe is his field in which he is playing, in which he is enjoying himself through this play or krida, as Sri Aurobindo calls it in his Upanishad. He has made the universe his pastimes field, a vast gymnasium of his works of might. It's no mean feat to organize this vast gymnasium, the universe, and it is in this vast gymnasium that he seems to be having a sort of a pastime, a time which he's enjoying, and yet not too seriously. Because to the one that is eternal, nothing is serious, anything can be made, anything can be unmade, makes no difference to the ultimate reality. And therefore, it's a pastime. This entire game that seems to be so serious to us is for the divine just a pastime. The immanent lives in man as in his house. He has made the universe his pastimes field, a vast gymnasium of his works of might. All knowing, he accepts our darkened state. So the type of consciousness that he has created in us is a consciousness of ignorance. Ignorance is dark, and that is in spite of the fact that it is the divine that is manifesting through this darkness. So it's a humility, it's a great humility on the part of the divine to accept this darkened state. We are the divine and yet we are ignorant. So to accept this ignorant, darkened state is an act of gross humility on the part of the divine. In spite of knowing everything, he has accepted this state of ignorance the state of ignorance uh, in which he lives through us. All knowing, he accepts our darkened state. Divine wears shapes of animal or man. Although it is the divine, it has condescended to wear the appearance of animal and man. Eternal, he ascends to fate and time. The one who is timeless in character, has no beginning and no end, eternal, he ascends to fate and time, which are both functions of impermanence, of a limited existence. So he puts on these appearances of a limited existence in the form of fate and time in spite of being eternal. Immortal dallies with mortality. So he plays around with mortality in spite of being immortal. So these are the types of gross acts of self-limitation and humility that the divine displays. Accepting ignorance in spite of knowing everything, accepting the shape of animal or man in spite of being the divine, the formless divine, accepting fate and time in spite of being eternal, and dallying with mortality in spite of being immortal. So, beautiful passage meditating on the divine. Let's go over it again. The master of existence lurks in us and plays at hide and seek with his own force. In nature's instrument loiters secret God. The immanent lives in man as in his house. He has made the universe his pastimes field, a vast gymnasium of his works of might. All-knowing, he accepts our darkened state. Divine, wears shapes of animal or man. Eternal, he ascends to fate and time. Immortal, dallies with mortality. Now I'll read out a passage from Prayers and Meditations of the Mother. This is a passage from the prayer dated the 28th of December 1928. There's a power that no ruler can command. There's a happiness that no earthly success can bring. There's a light that no wisdom can possess. There's a knowledge that no philosophy and no science can master. There's a bliss of which no satisfaction of desire can give the enjoyment. There's a thirst for love that no human relation can appease. There is a peace that one finds nowhere, not even in death. It is the power, the happiness, the light, the knowledge, the bliss, the love, the peace that flow from the divine grace. Once again, a beautiful description of the divine and its lovable attributes that we value so much, look for them at wrong places, but the one source from where we get them in their highest, best and infinite form is nothing other than the divine, and we can experience it through nothing else than the divine grace. So let's go over it again. There's a power that no ruler can command, that immense power, that power that is impossible to conquer, because who is the other to conquer it? There is no other, and therefore no ruler can command. Every ruler that we know of is the divine itself in another form, and if that is the only one that exists, who is the other that can command it? There is a power that no ruler can command. There is a happiness that no earthly success can bring. There is a happiness beyond all earthly success and infinitely more vast. There's no comparison. There's a happiness that no earthly success can bring. There's a light that no wisdom can possess. That bright light, incomparable light, which is beyond all wisdom. There's a knowledge that no philosophy and no science can master. Knowledge beyond which there's nothing else to be known. Goes beyond all philosophy and science. There's a knowledge that no philosophy and no science can master. There's a bliss of which no satisfaction of desire can give the enjoyment. In contrast with the fragile and fleeting character of the enjoyment that we get through the satisfaction of desire is the bliss, which is totally incomparable, everlasting, and again there's no comparison. There's a bliss of which no satisfaction of desire can give the enjoyment. There's a thirst for love that no human relation can appease. All the love that we feel and all the love that we desire from human relationships is nothing compared to the love of the divine. There's a thirst for love that no human relation can appease. So, the ultimate satisfaction for any type of craving for love, because receiving love is also a need, just as giving love is a need, receiving love is also a need, and therefore there is a thirst for love planted in us, and we seek it through human relationships, but no human relation can satisfy that thirst the way the love of the divine can. There's a thirst for love that no human relation can appease. There's a peace that one finds nowhere, not even in death. We are looking for relief from stress, which is only a negative way of looking at it. We are just trying to get rid of stress. But here is something positive with which we can be filled, which will leave no room for any type of stress, and that is peace. And that is the peace that one can't find anywhere. It's commonly assumed that at least after death it will be there, because if we will be no longer there, how can we be under stress? But then the fact is, we seem to disappear, but we are not truly disappearing, and therefore even that peace after death that we visualize is not guaranteed. And that is why we pray for the peace to the soul of the departed, because that peace is not guaranteed. But there is somewhere, there is a place where that peace can be found, and that is in the divine. There is a peace that one finds nowhere, not even in death. Now the mother is repeating in the next sentence all these attributes, all these feelings, all these states of the mind, all these states of awareness which we always are craving for, and the power, the happiness, the light, the knowledge, the bliss, the love, and the peace. And where can we experience them? What is the ultimate source for all these? The divine. And how can we experience it from the divine? Through divine grace. Because no amount of effort can really be enough to experience this. The effort is only a beginning. The effort is all that we can put in, but ultimately it is the divine grace that does it. There's a little story to explain the significance of the divine grace. Once there was a person, in his dream, he was asleep, and in his dream he saw that he had been swallowed up by a demon. So just imagine a big monster, a demon, in whose stomach this person is now lying. He tries to come out by climbing up the food pipe of the demon, but then every time he climbs up a few steps, he slips down, slips back into the stomach, something like Robert Bruce's spider. So he keeps trying throughout the night, climbs up a few steps, drops back in the stomach, takes a few steps up, and then again he's back in the stomach. And this goes on throughout the night. Finally, he wakes up in the morning, and he's overjoyed to find that there's no demon and he's not in the demon's stomach, he's free. So all the effort that he was making throughout the night, trying to come out of this demon by climbing up the food pipe, was personal effort. The relief and the joy that he experiences when he wakes up is divine grace. Let's read this passage again from Prayers and Meditations in the prayer dated 28th December 1928. There's a power that no ruler can command. There's a happiness that no earthly success can bring. There's a light that no wisdom can possess. There's a knowledge that no philosophy and no science can master. There's a bliss of which no satisfaction of desire can give the enjoyment. There's a thirst for love that no human relation can appease. There's a peace that one finds nowhere, not even in death. It is the power, the happiness, the light, the knowledge, the bliss, the love, the peace that flow from the divine grace. Any questions now?
Sir, namaste.
Namaste, Prashant.
Sir, actually, during the sitting position during meditation, I'm unable to sit for a long time. So, while meditating, can I change the posture from Padmasana to Siddhasana or something like that, switching from one asana to another asana?
Yes, that can be one way of doing it. Although one should avoid movement, one doesn't have to sort of make it such a strict rule that you remain uncomfortable during the meditation. So you can change the posture. Another way would be that if you find it difficult to stay in Padmasana for a long time, you can meditate in a posture in which you can stay for a longer time. So these would be the two ways in which one can do it. Either by changing the posture while you're meditating or starting in a position in which you can sit for a much longer time than in Padmasana.
But sir, actually, I'm using different postures, but whatever the posture may be, I'm unable to sit for a long time, maybe 15 minutes, 20 minutes maximum, and after that it is paining. So still, miss, is it possible to change from one to another? That was actually my question because it will disturb the meditation process. So any method, how can I increase it within one asana for a long time?
Yes, actually, there's no strict rule about what you can do. The important thing is to be in the meditative state. So, if without disturbing that state, you can quietly uh, change a little from one posture to another, that should be okay.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Another question in the chat box. Can you talk about walking meditation?
Yes, a walk can be meditative. Uh, for that, what is important is that the walk should be not too brisk, uh, relatively slow paced walk, and even if it is not on a labyrinth, uh, one should stay focused on the walk rather than let stray thoughts come in. And something that will facilitate that, as in the rest of the meditation, is if you have something else to occupy the mind, something mechanical, repetitive, and non analytic. So, what one can do is one can synchronize it once again with the breathing. And if one is slow paced, you can synchronize it also with the steps. You can synchronize the chanting with the steps. Uh, so either with the steps or with breathing or with both. Uh, and another thing one can do is to uh, visualize the divine in your surroundings. So all the plants, animals, birds, any human beings, anything that you come across as you are walking, just get into the practice of just seeing the divine in everything. And then the walk becomes a meditative walk. So this is one way of doing it.
Alright, so this brings us to the end of today's session. Tomorrow we will have another session by a guest speaker on integral yoga. So please join in at the same time. And we end with the meditative music today. Thank you, everyone.
चली चांद की नैया, देखो चली चांद की नैया। कौन लगन में नील गगन में चली चांद की नैया। पतवार दिखे ना पार दिखे ना, दिखे नहीं खेवैया। हो नैया के खेवनहार, करुणा कर आना इस पार। हो नैया के खेवनहार, करुणा कर आना इस पार। बिना तुम्हारे नैन हमारे, तरसे हृदय बसैया। देखो चली चाँद की नैया। कौन लगन में नील गगन में चली चाँद की नैया। देखो चली चाँद की नैया। हम भी बंधन तोड़ चुके, कुल जग से मोह मोड़ चुके। हम भी बंधन तोड़ चुके, कुल जग से मोह मोड़ चुके। छूटी छाया लौक पाया, मिला है जगत रखैया। देखो चली चाँद की नैया। कौन लगन में नील गगन में चली चाँद की नैया। देखो चली चाँद की नैया। जो उज्ज्वल की काली रात, आवो मन में बन पर भात। बसती तारों से मतवारों में ले आवो नैया। देखो चली चाँद की नैया। कौन लगन में नील गगन में चली चाँद की नैया। देखो 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 चली चाँद की नैया।